3 days. In 3 days, the Ravens will host the Houston Texans. These two teams are going to go at it in the divisional round with a chance to advance to the AFC Championship game. Everything you worked for, everything you fought for, everything you trained for is on the line. 60 minutes of football at the bank for a chance to go to the AFC Championship game. Everything's on the line. Baltimore, you've got two options. You show up and you show out and you handle your business and protect home field, or you let the Texans come into our house, get the best of us, dominate us, outplay us, out-physical us, out-tough us, and beat us in our own house and send us home for the offseason. You got one of two options. Which option are you going to take? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Ravens flock. We are 3 days away from the divisional round matchup. We have the Houston Texans coming down to M&T Bank Stadium to take on the Baltimore Ravens, the number 1 seeded Baltimore Ravens, which adds even more pressure on us. The winner of this matchup will advance to the AFC Championship game to face off against either the Bills or the Chiefs. If Baltimore was to win this game, they will get to host the AFC title for the first time in franchise history at the bank. If the Texans were to win, they advance to the AFC title game and they will head to either Buffalo or Kansas City for the AFC Championship game. Everything's on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's on the line. Doesn't matter what happened in the regular season. Doesn't matter what your defense did, what your offense did. And even for the Texans, doesn't matter what you did last week against the Browns. None of that matters. What matters is right now. Because everything you did in the past has no effect on the game that will be played Saturday. You can't use what you did in the past to help you win this game on Saturday. Everything's on the line. Everything's on the line. And if you're not out there playing your very best, you will not win this game. And that goes for both teams. Now, obviously, I'm not a Texans fan, so I'm not here to talk about what the Texans need to do to win. I'm a Ravens fan, so I'm going to focus on that aspect. But I will give respect to the Houston Texans, like I did in my last video. Do not underestimate this squad. I don't care what the media is saying. I don't care what the odds maker in Vegas are saying. I don't care what anyone's trying to say. This Texans team is not a fluke. They're not a joke. This is a tough, physical team. Do not underestimate what they bring to the table. Do not underestimate what CJ Stroud has been doing all year. This guy is putting up one of the greatest rookie seasons we've ever seen. It's right up there with Andrew Luck. Do not underestimate what that young man is capable of. He's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid of pressure. He is going to do what he needs to do to help his team win. They go as far as he's going to take them. And DeMeco Ryan, as a head coach, rookie head coach, he's fearless. He's fearless. He has no worries, no concerns. He knows as long as he has that guy at quarterback, they will always have a chance to win. And that defense, as long as they got that guy as quarterback, they believe they can get it done and put the ball back in his hands. They can make stops. So that Texans team is coming. They're not afraid. They're not afraid of the moment. They're not afraid of any pressure. They don't care what the media has to say about them. They don't care about what the odds makers have to say about them. They don't care about the predictions. At the end of the day, they're going to come down to the bank with their A game. We're going to get the very best out of the Houston Texans. And if we're not prepared, we're going home. It's as simple as that. Baltimore, you need to play your A game. We don't need a B game. We don't need a C game. You need to play your A game. It's the playoffs. If you're not ready to play, don't step out on that field. If you're not ready to go, don't step out on that field. We don't need someone going out there who's not ready to go, who's not 100% locked in, ready to play for 60 minutes. If you're not ready, don't go out there. You can stay on the sideline, support the team, and have someone else that's ready to go out there. This ain't a joke. It's not. See, in 2019, it was all about the vibes. It was all about the vibes. We were happy, we were vibing, we were cheering, we were celebrating. Everything was great. You know, we had never had this type of offense. We had never had this type of quarterback play at this high of a level, you know, from a talent perspective. We've never had a season like that from the Ravens. So everything was about vibes. We walked into the division round with nothing but vibes. And the Titans came in, punched us right in the mouth. Everybody was shook. No response. And that's how they lost. 2023 is not like that. It's not even close to that. 19 was about vibes. 2023 is about handling your business. We're here to handle business. Simple as that. This is not a game. This is not a game at all. We're not walking to the bank thinking, okay, we got to win this game. We're walking into the bank thinking we've got a job to do and we need to handle business. It's as simple as that. That's what the Ravens have been about all season. Handling business. And we've got a lot of business to handle on Saturday. And we better be able to handle that business. We got a job to do. Get it done. I see a lot of Ravens fans with the nerves and the concerns and the worries because they feel like this team could potentially fall short the way 2019, ultimately did. I don't see that happening. I've had a lot of fans ask me, a lot of people in my comment section ask me, who are you most afraid to face? How do you feel about the Ravens? Do you have any concerns about the Ravens in the division round? Do you have any nerves? Are you anxious? No. No fear. No nerves. Not even anxious. No concerns. None. I fully believe this team will be able to handle business come Saturday. I fully believe that this team is going to bring their A game because they know anything less than their A game and the Texans will beat us. I'm telling you this right now. Anything less than your A game, the Texans are winning this. I've been on record saying this. With what we've seen from the Ravens this season, against teams like the Niners, against teams like the Dolphins, against teams like the Lions, if the Ravens play their A game and they play up to their capabilities and what we've seen them showcase against some of the best teams in football, if they play like that, they will not be beat. Anything less than that, they can certainly be beat. If they play the way they played against Pittsburgh, Houston's coming into our house and they're beating us. If they play the way they played in the fourth quarter against Cleveland, in our building, in Baltimore, they're going home quickly. If they play the way they played against the Colts offensively, Houston is going to handle us, and they're going to win by double digits. And we'll be sitting there after another embarrassing loss wondering, where do we go from here? Anything short of an A-plus performance from this Ravens team will result in a loss in this game. We hear everyone talking about how locked in they are. If you're locked in, go out there and play with your A-plus level of ability and effort and physicality. You need to be at your best. Simple as that. You need to be at your best. Anything short of that, you're not going to be able to win. Because that Texas team is fearless. They're not coming to Baltimore to just play around. They didn't beat the Browns and think, okay, we did what we needed to do. We exceeded expectations. We can end in the division round now. No. They truly believe they can go the distance and get to the Super Bowl because of that young man playing quarterback. There's no fear when you have a quarterback like that. There's no fear when you have a team with no pressure on them. You've got to match their energy. You've got to match their intensity because they're playing free and they're playing loose. How do you match that? You play to your game. The same game we've seen you play against teams like the Niners and teams like the Lions. You play your A-plus game. If Baltimore is able to do that, we will win this game. We will host the AFC Championship game, and we'll be back here next week talking about how we need to prepare to take on either Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills or Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs. But that's a possibility. We can't talk about possibilities until it becomes a reality. And right now, it's not a reality. The reality is we have 3 days until we play the Texans. Handle your business. There's nothing else that needs to be talked about. I don't need to sit here and talk about the matchups. I don't need to sit here and talk about what happened in week 1 because both fan bases have admitted we're not even remotely close to what we were being in week 1. Week 1 for the Texans was the first ever game for rookie CJ Stroud. First game as a head coach for the Texans for DeMeco Ryan. They were, just a first-year team as a whole. Bunch of new pieces that they got from the draft and just trying to, put it together and figure things out. It was their first ever game. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it was the first year under Todd Monken's system. Lamar's first game back since not playing in about a year. First game for Odell in about a year. First game for Duvernay and Bateman in about a year. We were missing several players in that game. So there was nothing to glean from that game because neither team was even remotely close to being where they needed to be. So that's just a regular game. That game is a wash. That game tells you nothing about the Ravens. It tells you nothing about the Texans. You look at how both teams have performed throughout the season and you understand both these teams have the capability to win this game and go far in the playoffs. So there's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing else to talk about. I can bring up some news. Mark Andrews, he was a full participant in practice today. Zay Flowers, he had already returned to practice. He was a full participant in practice. Pretty much everybody was out there practicing and damn near a full participant in practice. The only one that's really missing is Marlon Humphrey. Now, of course, Tylan Wallace is also missing with a knee injury, but, thankfully Devin Duvernay is back, and there's a good chance he's going to play in this game, so we will get our punt returner back. But, the only person that's missing from this game is Marlon Humphrey. He has not practiced. He didn't practice all last week. He hasn't practiced yet. Tomorrow is going to be probably the last practice they have because I believe Friday is a walkthrough and then you play the game Saturday. So tomorrow's the last practice. If Humphrey's not out there, there's a good chance he's not playing on Saturday. If Marlon Humphrey's not good to go, based on what I've seen from Brandon Stephens this year, I absolutely believe Brandon Stephens can be that number 1 corner. And then Ronald Darby will be that CB2 because Ronald Darby has been playing fantastic football. Go look at how this guy's played throughout the season. He's been fantastic. So you put Brandon Stephens on one side, you put Ronald Darby on the other side, and then you just go from there. Now everyone else is going to be healthy. You're going to have Roquan Smith. You're going to have Patrick Queen. You're going to have Geno Stone. You're going to have Marcus Williams. You're going to have Kyle Hamilton. You're going to have Justin Madubuike. You're going to have Jadeveon Clowney. You're going to have Kyle Van Noy. You're going to have Michael Pierce. You're going to have Brent Arby. You're going to have everybody. You're going to have everybody on your defense. Offensively, you're going to have everybody there. Hell, there's a high chance Mark Andrews will be there, so you really won't be missing anybody on offense. And they had already waived Melvin Gordon, so there's a high chance that Dalvin Cook, who's currently on the practice squad, there's a good chance he's going to get elevated to play for this game. So you're going to have Gus Edwards with Justice Hill, and then Dalvin Cook as the RB3. And of course, you already know Zay Flowers, he's going to play. He's going to play. So Zay Flowers is going to be out there. Rashad Bateman's going to be out there. Nelson Aguilar is going to be out there. Of course, OBJ is going to be out there. Isaiah Likely is going to be out there. There's a chance Mark Andrews can be out there. Your entire starting offensive line, completely healthy and ready to go. Zeitler's been practicing. He's good to go. Stanley out there. Everyone's out there. Everyone's out there. This is the healthiest the team has been all season. So there's no injury factor into this. Nor would you use that as an excuse in the first place. Because there are no excuses in the playoffs. Get it done. But this team is as healthy as they're going to be. They better be ready to play. Simple as that. Simple as that. It should be an interesting game. I think this is going to be a tough battle. I expect both divisional games in the AFC to be a tough battle. Us battling against the Texans and the Chiefs and the Bills going at it on Sunday night. Either way, I expect this to be a tough matchup, and I believe the Ravens are going to get this win. I have complete belief, faith, and confidence that this team is going to get it done. I understand the concerns, but in all honesty, I know the concerns for Ravens flock will go away if the Ravens can get over the hump and handle business by winning this game. I know it, absolutely, 100%. They win this game, I fully believe Ravens flock will have confidence in this team being able to defend home field next week against the Chiefs or Bills and book their ticket to Vegas to go to the Super Bowl. But we're not even thinking ahead because there's no future if we don't get it done now. So Baltimore, handle your business. Because that Texans team, they're going to handle their business. They're going to come out here They're going to play their A game. And if you don't match it, you're going home. So, better be ready. I believe you guys will be ready. I'm not concerned. I'm not worried in the slightest. I have no fears. 100% belief. The only thing I don't have right now is patience. Because 3 days is a long time to wait for this game. But I'm perfectly fine waiting. I've brought this mentality. You could see it right here with the entirety of this room. It's just red. That's the entire mentality we have this entire week. And that will be the mentality we carry into this game. Just renegades red. You just see nothing but red. Laser eye focus, completely zoned in. And that's just a mindset. I know that's the mindset the Ravens have, and that's the mindset I've chosen to adapt here. And we'll see what happens on Saturday. Anyway, guys, appreciate you guys tuning in. Not really much of a preview because we didn't go over the matchups, but I don't feel the need to. I don't. Both teams are going to bring their A game. We know what the Ravens defense is capable of. We know what the Ravens offense is capable of. We know what the Texans bring to the table as a threat, both offensively and defensively. They'll be looking to exploit some aspects of our offense, and they'll be looking to exploit some aspects of our defense. So if we're just not ready to play, we're not ready to go, we'll lose. But I absolutely believe they're ready. This is the moment they've been working towards, been training for, and been practicing for, and been fighting for all season long. You get to host a playoff game in your house as the number 1 seed with the MVP as your quarterback. Go get the job done. This is supposed to be your moment. Go get it done. Go handle business. Because if you don't, the Texans will certainly handle theirs. And they'll be celebrating on your home field as they head to the AFC title game. I don't think you want that. So make sure to handle your business, Baltimore. You've talked about being locked in for weeks now. We talked about everyone being locked in this week in practice. Stay locked in. Be locked in. Walk into the bank on Saturday locked in. And then play like a team that's locked in on one simple objective. Winning the damn game. That's it. With that being said, everybody, thank you so much for watching. That's all I gotta say. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.